Black history they don't want you to know. The 1969 Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The first time the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, they won with historically black college and university talent, or HCBUs. They won with Lorne Wells, the first full-time black scout in pro football. He helped the 1969 Chiefs, who had more HBCU players than any team in the AFL or the NFL at that time. Moments after the Kansas City Chiefs shocked the football world with their upset over the Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl in 1970, sportscaster Frank Gifford was interviewing the victorious players in their locker room. In the midst of fielding questions, their star running back Mike Garrett directed Gifford's attention to Lloyd Wells, one of the Chiefs scouts. Largely through his efforts as the first full-time black scout in pro football, the Chiefs had assembled a roster with more players from historically black colleges and universities than any team in the AFL or the NFL. The 1969 season began with Grambling James Harris starting at quarterback on opening day for the Buffalo Bills, and ended with the heroics of Otis Taylor from Prairie View University, and Willie Lanier, Morgan State, who wound up in the Hall of Fame, and Emmett Thomas from now defunct Bishop College, who also wound up in the Hall of Fame, among others, on Super Bowl Sunday. The 1969 Chiefs had 13 players from HBCUs on their 44-man roster, the most in pro football. Including African Americans from predominantly white schools, the Chiefs' starting lineup featured a majority of black starters, 12 of 22, which had never happened in a championship game. Their win came on pro football's biggest and most visible stage, the Super Bowl, and it put the NFL and other AFL teams on notice that there was indeed a wealth of talent that needed to be explored at HBCUs. The Washington Redskins infamously did not have a single black player until 1962, when President John F. Kennedy's administration, embarrassed by having an all-white home team in the nation's capital during the Civil Rights era, pressured team executives to sign a black player. The breakthrough for HBCU players came because of the shared self-interest of black colleges and the upstart AFL, which was launched in 1960. Unable to outbid teams, NFL teams rather, for well-known college stars, AFL owners began going through talent from HBCUs, and with a world championship on the line, Wells' talent performed. Lanier and Thomas both intercepted passes. The defensive line, led by Buck Buchanan, held Minnesota's vaunted rushing attack, which had racked up over 200 yards against Cleveland in the NFL title game, to just 67 yards. Pitts ran for 3 vital first downs on end-around plays, and the Chiefs put away the game when Taylor turned a short square-out pass into a touchdown by breaking one tackle and faking out the last defender in his path. The iconic image of the 1970 Super Bowl is of Taylor gliding into the end zone. He didn't look back, and neither did the rest of pro football. It followed the examples of the Chiefs, as well as the Steelers and the Oakland Raiders, in discovering the athletic riches in HBCU football. The 1969 Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Black history they don't want you to know.